Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. We are at the end of Encounter 1. Anthony with you once again. And this event has just been utter chaos, and I love it. All sorts of weird and wacky nonsense getting thrown around. Some decks doing as expected, some decks surprising, whether it be good or bad. And now we have the culmination of this. On one side of the field, we have a familiar competitor. On the other, something that has recently popped up but now seems to be blazing or leading the way in terms of how the meta develops. Ozzy versus Steven Moss. Ozzy's on Soundwave. Steven is on the 5-wide Goodstuff deck, as I have called it, with just 5 good 5 stars. And John has called it Team Subway and also called Ozzy's deck. Yep, Soundwave's new Harley Davidson. Exactly. And looks like Ozzy has won the roll-off. Ozzy looks like he has the call. We're just waiting for the call. Hope he's doing tap math. Now, honestly, what does he want to do here? Oh, sounds like he's going first. And with that, right on cue, gentlemen, you are clear to start. Good luck to the both of you. And now we are off to the races. It sounds like Ozzy's going first. Makes sense in order to draw a bit of fire away from Grease Stain. Or not from Grease Stain, from Soundwave into Grease Stain. So, yeah, if that is the case, which it looks like it... Oh, no, it's Steven going first. Oh, that is an interesting decision. So, Ayuk flips up to bot mode and sending Braun into Grease Stain right off the bat. And that is 4 Pierce 4? Yeah, 4 Pierce 4, right off the bat. Already a decent swing. And Grease Stain, of course, cannot defend this, even if he had Pierce Negation. The blues would not matter, because, of course, Grease Stain has Bandit. Dropping a sparring gear for a lose the initiative on Steven's side of the field, but Grease Stain takes 4, no greens on Ozzy's side of the field, and we are over to his turn. Draw for turn. Now, of course, we're going to see Ravage come out of Soundwave here. Yep, there it goes. This is pretty typical for Ozzy playing Soundwave. And the hand is Laser Cutlass, lose the initiative, fight for position, supercharge. Okay, that is a really good hand. That is... I honestly don't know what Ozzy fires back here. Probably the supercharge, if I had to take a guess. Yeah, the Laser Cutlass doesn't matter too much because Ozzy's not playing a defensive deck, and the fight for position is the weaker of the two, so just put the supercharge back on top. Makes sense. And then fight for position coming down on the Grease Stain. You do want to play as aggro as possible. You just want to be constantly trying to nuke somebody on Steven's side of the field every turn. And Ozzy's deck is very much capable of doing that. But Steven's deck also has kind of an inbuilt resilience. Just because, like Matt, you just pointed out in the chat, 49 health on Steven's side of the field. And it's spread out pretty wide. So it's hard to kind of pin something down. Anyways... taking 6 on Braun after this attack, so that's 4. I did not see any blues, so 2. So I think the attack was for 8, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, Braun now has 6 damage, and Ozzy did drop a combat dagger for something, but I did not catch it as I was trying to figure out what exactly was going on in terms of the damage output. So moving over to Steven's turn, he's got RC in bot mode, albeit I don't think she's going to be too pivotal in this matchup just because of the fact that you don't really need Pierce as much here. Just because they all inherently have a fairly low defense, and of course Ozzy is playing an orange shell, so there is that. So at this point, you look at sending in Ayuk here. Laser Cutlass on Ayuk. If you send in Crasher here, you get to do a free point of damage to Grease Stain, but the fight for position coming down onto Ayuk going into Grease Stain. So there's a blue. The ability is activated. Bold 2 from that, and then the white icon. Hi, Mirage. So for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? 9 Pierce 3? Wait. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Hold on, I'm going to double check this. How much did you say that attack was for? Yep. The Energon Axe was part of the flips. I do remember that. Okay, that's what I thought. I heard 8 and I'm like, wait a minute. So I just wanted to make sure that was done right. Alrighty, so the attack was for 9 and it looks like Grease Stain is dead. Okay, that's getting Grease Stain off the board in 2 swings. Pretty decent, and now he still has 3 attackers, especially with Crasher. Once Steeljaw deploys, yeah, he's probably going to want to send Crasher in once Steeljaw deploys, just to kind of balance out the damage between Ravage and Steeljaw since they're both melee. You don't get anything off of Soundwave here, but it's at least something. And Streamlabs decided to delete that message from Matt. I will double check what is up with that. I need to go fix Streamlabs because he's a little overzealous. Precision Fire comes down. So Precision Fire comes down, calling Alt Mode, which does 1 damage to everybody in Alt Mode, then Crasher triggers, and then heals 1 from everybody, so it did nothing. Are both of these decks aggro? Ozzy's is, but Steven's is a bit more of a mishmash. Combat Dagger coming down onto Ravage, and then flip Soundwave. No, you do not get to deploy in alt mode. That is a little bit of a brain fart on Ozzy's part, but let's be real, it's nothing serious. I mean, we all have these moments occasionally. Anyways, moving on. So that is 4 Pierce 5, so 4 Pierce 4 gets reduced. And that is a dead Brawn, okay. So now we move over to Steven's turn. Steeljaw is not on the field yet, so again, you want to pocket Crasher here. If you can maybe get something off with Night Racer. And I have to respond to something on Discord here. But yeah, if you send in Night Racer here into Ravage, that's probably your best chance to just get a butt-ton of damage on him. And then once Steeljaw deploys, sending Crasher if Ravage is still alive. Ideally, Ravage would still be alive. And then you're able to get some chip damage onto Steeljaw to start that off, while Ravage gets KO'd in that situation. But it all depends on if he's able to use Night Racer effectively here, or if he just tries to send in RC. We'll see what he does, though. Flipping Night Racer. And a leap into battle, okay. So, okay, exactly what I was saying. Go in, Ravage, and try to see if you can spike something onto him. And, oh, wait a minute, that's 9! He's 1 off! He's 1 off! If the backup beam gets flipped, it... 9 blocking, 1, alive on 1! Ay, 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 ay. And then picking up a Hand of Adaptus, dropping a Take the Shot on Steven's side of the field. And flipping Soundwave. Out comes Steeljaw. Lose the initiative and Hand of Adaptus. It really doesn't matter here because Steven can just pick it up if he needs it. And I did not catch what it was because I'm trying to do 2 things at once here like an idiot. Hand of Adaptus, speaking of, draws 3. And then there's a Disruptor Blade coming down on Soundwave now that I have finished resolving, something that was happening on Discord. Somebody was just asking about legal sets. And Soundwave is probably going to go in here. That makes sense, because otherwise Crasher gets a free shot at Steeljaw, and then Ravage gets pinged if Crasher does anything. So now this forces Steven to hold Crasher until Steeljaw attacks. But in the meantime, Soundwave attacks for 10. 10 blocking 1, taking 9. And then drop a Combat Dagger for a Bashing Shield. And then no greens on Steven's side of the field, and it looks like it was a lose the initiative that he got forced to put back on top. I would not be surprised if we see Crasher flip for the Hand of Adaptus here. So my guess is he flips Crasher, plays Hand of Adaptus, tries to spike a weapon, sends RC into Soundwave, and then on the next turn sends Crasher into Steeljaw to kill Ravage. Yep, there's the Crasher flip. There's the Hand of Adaptus. I called that perfectly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hand of Adaptus for 4, ladies and gentlemen. Hand of Adaptus for 4. So did he spike a weapon here? If he does, that's ideal. If not, maybe he just sends RC into Ravage to get someone off the board this turn. There's some moving of cards. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Because, like, Crasher's ability is nice, but if you're not going to be able to do anything to Soundwave, really. Flamethrower on RC, okay, yeah, going into Soundwave, no question, I think is the call here. RC going in, as expected. And he's just taking the kill on Ravage. Interesting. Up, 2 more from the Bold, and, yeah, should have gone into Soundwave. He is now realizing his mistake, but in his defense, it does get the Pierce 2 negation off of the field, or the Pierce 2 that Ravage gives off the field. So that's at least something, but yeah, that definitely was a misplay. We'll see if he can recover from that, though. Given the fact he has 4 characters on the board, admittedly one of them is on fairly low health. Odds are maybe? Nope, Night Racer is gone, so now it's a 3v2. Soundwave is mostly alive. Steeljaw is fully alive. This may have just gotten interesting real quick. So he has the Cayman. Does he have something in hand for Steeljaw? Yes, he does. There's the Mecha Star, and at this point, I think you go into Ayuk here. RC is kind of scary too, but you're an offensive deck, so you really don't care about the Pierce part of it, so you're really just trying to get big numbers off the board, and that's what Ayuk is at pretty much every point of the game in bot mode. Flipping Steeljaw to alt mode as well, and going into Ayuk. Okay, so that was the call. Going in for 4 Pierce 4 is the swing. And blocking 3, taking the 4. And no greens on either side of the field. And Steeljaw now has stealth, so you gotta go into Soundwave here. You're not gonna be able to get Crasher's ability anymore because Soundwave's a specialist. Steeljaw is is melee in bot mode, but nothing in mini cassette mode. Flipping Crasher back to alt mode, that makes sense in case the Precision Fire comes down. Erratic Lightning, that's always a good card. And what's the action? Leap into battle, okay, Soundwave is getting smacked. Going in for 8, okay, maybe that wasn't gonna hurt, or the RC misplay isn't gonna hurt him too much. And going in for 11, about as good of a flip as you could have asked for. 11 blocking 3, takes 8, up to 9. This could still go either way, because Soundwave is just able to blow somebody up out of nowhere. But again, Steven's deck has really, really good resilience just because of the way the health pools are distributed. So we'll move over to Ozzy's turn after the untap. And does he send in Soundwave first? I think that's probably what he's going to do if watching this deck has told me anything, because we've already watched it on stream now, I think, in round 3, round 4, and top 4, so 3 times. I think he usually sends in Soundwave before the mini cassettes. I think the usual attack order is Ravage, Soundwave, Steeljaw, just because Steeljaw is kind of instrumental in the late game, because Ravage is going to draw some early fire. And we do have a reshuffle, so... Because the thing with Ravage, like I was saying, is that Pierce just scares people, so they're going to go after him first, so... He's going to kind of act as the sacrificial pawn in the mid-game, and then Soundwave serves as a bit of a buffer to Steeljaw, who is very underrated. Decent 5-star attacker, for sure. Then we have the cuts. So at this point, yeah, so he sends in Soundwave here most likely. It's just a matter of... Actually, no, who am I kidding? He goes into Ayuk here, no question. Like I was saying earlier, big number go Burr is a bit of a problem. Crasher is a bit of a threat, though, with that erratic lightning, so that also is a consideration. Basically, as long as he doesn't go into RC, I think he's going to be fine. Power Punch comes down on the Steeljaw. This is what I was talking about. Steeljaw can become a real problem real quick. And not flipping Steeljaw. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, nope, there he goes. I was about to say, why would you not flip Steeljaw here? It makes no sense. 10 going into, I did not catch the target because I was focused on Steeljaw being in alt mode there. And I believe, okay, so we're just talking about one-shotting, so I'm assuming RC was the target there because she has 9 health. Crasher has 10. Ayuk is damaged, so that would not be a one-shot. Yep, RC is gone. I question that decision. Now, I will be, in full disclosure, every time I question one of Ozzy's decisions, I usually end up realizing something about it like 5 seconds later. So there probably is something I'm missing here. But at the moment, I am not seeing why you wouldn't just try to blow up Ayuk here. Espionage coming down for, I believe, orange. Immersed in Shadow, designated target backup beam is the hand. And we're getting a bit of camera lag on Ozzy's side of the field. Oh, the call was black. Okay, so it's either Immersed in Shadow or designated target. At this point, like, neither of those cards are really good for Ozzy right now. Designated target, I mean, is an extra Pierce too, but it's really strongest on the wheel turn, but Ozzy can't he can't really leverage the wheel turn right now just because of the way the numbers work out inherently with the decks, and the Immersed in Shadow is, not really going to do too much just because Soundwave is going to be the priority target regardless. Somebody clipped this. Hawk admitted he could be wrong on stream. I've talked about this in the Discord before. I usually end up having this happen. Besides, is it a Servants of the Dice Gods video or stream if I'm not wrong at some point? Anyway, so the Espionage is done resolving. So what is the upgrade? Processor on the Crasher. So that probably indicates an Ayuk send in? Probably, because that's probably going to be what you're getting to finish off Soundwave. Oh, wait a minute. Processor may not be going on the Crasher. Okay, so it actually might be Crasher going in here. 5 into 2, that's 3. That puts it up to 12. Flipping Crasher, 6 into 2, that's 4. That puts it up to 13. He needs to flip 2 oranges here. We know the blue is in Ozzy's hand, so if he gets it... Oh, he needs a white icon. No, he's alive on 1. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Again! Alive on 1. Free Gyrick, when? Ay, 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 ay. Good God. And of course, No extra ping damage from Crasher because Steeljaw is melee. Soundwave is a specialist. Free Gyric when exactly. Of course, Steeljaw, though, is a bit of a problem right now. He's got a Power Punch on him. But it's just a matter of, does he try and flip him to alt mode to spike a bit more of a ceiling? And I think that... Actually, no. It makes no sense for him to flip to alt mode here. There's no reason to keep the stealth on him. Because Soundwave is probably just going to die anyway, so... Flipping Soundwave to alt mode? What? Oh, he had a precision fire in hand. That makes sense. So, Ayuk is up to 5, Crasher's at 1, Steeljaw's at 1. Like I said earlier, I see Ozzy do something, I'm like, what are you doing? And then he does something else, and I'm like, that makes sense. I am stupid. Anyways, there's the Immersed in Shadow on Steeljaw, so that forces this next attack to go into Soundwave, and now, Steven better hope he has direct damage floating around that isn't Crasher. So the attack is 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pierce. 9 Pierce 4 is the swing. Blocking 2. Take 7 up to 8. And then draw for turn on Steven's side of the field. Draw for processor. So you're sending in Ayuk here. If you have a direct damage card, now's the time to play it. This is real tense. Yeah, absolutely. So flipping Crasher to alt mode. Defend against the precision fire. Come on, Steven, you can do it. Yeah, honestly, like, this game could go either way still. Very much, very much. Bashing Shield for no value, but it does give the +1 defense. And then Soundwave getting attacked here by Ayuk. No direct damage. Steeljaw could be a problem. But Steven still could pull this out. And that is... The numbers are kind of irrelevant here. Pierce 3 with the Laser Cutlass will get the KO. We're down to Steeljaw. He's likely to KO somebody here, probably Crasher. And then it's a question of, can Ayuk finish the job on Steeljaw? This is what we like to see, ladies and gentlemen. This is just, oh my, I cannot articulate enough how awesome this is right now. This is just, oh, yes. Oh, I am hogging out of my mind. This has been a good game, and this is just game 1. Does Ozzy have a weapon? That's kind of the key thing here. If he has a weapon, that's Crasher off the board, has the likely chance, or has the chance to win this here. There's the Mecha Star. In goes Steeljaw. Crasher seems to be the target. With Pierce, that will KO Crasher. 7 Pierce 2. 7 Pierce 4. Taking 5, blocking 2, taking 5. That's a dead Ayuk. Ayuk was the target. He was able to get Ayuk off the board. Ozzy may have this, but if Steven can draw any sort of power action, he might be able to take this. This is down to the wire. This is about as close as it gets. Flipping Crasher up to 6 attack. Needs 9 to KO Steeljaw here. Fight for position. He needs the right flips. Come on. There's a white icon. Oh, no, black icon. No. And Mirage. No, now is not the time. Wait a minute. Is that 9? Is that 9? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think he got it. I think he got it. And that is a dead Steeljaw. Steven takes game 1. Holy crap, what a game 1. God, what a game one! I am losing my mind right now. This is what we like to see, folks. This is what we like to see. Oh my god. Up, and Streamlabs is being overzealous again. I gotta correct that. I'm sorry, but I did see what you were saying. Vintage Transformers gameplay. Ladies and gentlemen, if there are plenty of community cards fueling these two decks, if you do not believe that community cards can absolutely cause chaos in a good way, this is what is possible. I mean, Hand of Adaptus and Grease Stain are helping out Ozzy, and then on Steven's side of the field, Ayuk and Crash are coming in clutch. What a game one! Now we're going to sideboarding. I don't know who's going first. I was busy pogging out of my mind to pay attention, but oh my god. This is great. This is just fantastic. This is what we like to see. And while we have the sideboarding actually going on here, I am going to run in and try to fix Streamlabs from being overzealous. Where is Cloudbot? There it is. Streamlabs being real overzealous all of a sudden. Yeah, I need to go in and fix that. Okay, okay, I just fixed the caps lock issue. I just fixed the symbols issue. And link protection, word protection, paragraph protection. This is the other one. I'll just give you larger than a tweet. 300 characters should be enough. Actually, probably 500 is a better number. Okay, I have fixed the Cloudbot issues. Okay, hopefully that fixes those. I have calmed down now. And we are getting cuts here, and I am sending somebody the ban list. And Ozzy is the one going first. Confirmed. Okay. Alrighty, let's see how this goes. We had a good game one. Let's see if game two is just as good. Hopefully it will be. And considering that game one, I think we're going to be good. And, oh my god. Again, hopefully Streamlabs is fixed now. Flip Soundwave, deploy Ravage. Hand is improvised databank spy masters. Oh, that is not the start you want to see. And putting the data bank on top. Yeah, that is... Grease Stain going in here first. Going into Brawn. Okay. Yeah, honestly, like, Brawn or Ayuk is probably the play here. So, going into Brawn makes sense. 6 Pierce 1 is the swing. Block 3, take 3. And no greens on either side of the field, so we will go ahead and move over to Steven's turn. And probably going to see a similar setup to last time. Flipping, I believe, either RC or Ayuk and sending Braun in was the play last time. And I think he may try that again, but we will see. Going second, this deck could be doing something radically different. And admittedly, I do have some knowledge on this deck, but that was back in round 1 when this deck absolutely just steamrolled over Demolisher. Take the shot as the card for turn. And what will the flip be? That is the big question here. Looks like our RC maybe? Honestly, I would probably go with Ayuk here. Nope, going with RC. Interesting. And who is going to be the send here? It's probably Braun. Oh, no, sending Crasher. Interesting. Trying to save Braun for Soundwave, I'm guessing. Which makes sense. And for 4, blocking 2 takes 2, and there's a lose the initiative, it looks like, on Ozzy's side of the field. That makes a much more sense compared to it in Stevens. I'm not sure why he's main decking lose the initiative, but Ozzy siding it makes sense just because we did see a couple copies of New Orders floating around on Stevens' side of the field. So him siding that in could be crucial depending on what is getting drawn. Speaking of Ozzy, we'll draw for turn. Ravage is going to be going here after Soundwave flips down, so those two things I can essentially guarantee at this point. Ravage will be jumping into Grease Stain Station as well, as he tends to do, which a cat driving a motorcycle is a bit weird, but hey, anything goes on the internet. And besides, if it's a cat video or a cat driving a motorcycle, hey, that'll get millions of views. Combat Dagger on Ravage, okay. And Cayman. 1 to Ravage. 2 to Crasher. Getting her off the board as soon as possible in order to try to get Precision Fire online without having to wait for her to flip to bot mode. That makes sense. Ravage will jump into Grease Stain Station, and a damage will move over from Ravage to Crasher. So now at 3. Ravage is currently attacking for 3. Pierce 2, Bold 1. 5 Pierce 5 is the swing, so that will not be a KO, but Crasher is hurting pretty bad here, but the damage is not on Braun, so that's at least a positive here. So now, who does Steven send in here? It's probably Ayuk if I had to take a wild guess, and you just try to punch Ravage. Alternatively, you could go into Grease Stain, but that's 11 you have to get to KO him, whereas Ravage is only 10? Yeah, you probably go into Ravage here if you're in Steven's situation, just because it's a lower number to hit. Okay, flip RC to heal 1, so Ayuk may not be the send here. I don't think he'd send in Braun here. I think he's trying to save him for Soundwave just because of his inherently higher defense, even if it's just 1 more. I'm honestly not too sure what he's up to. Also, I just noticed. I'm going to jump in here quick. Just a heads up, take the shot on taps. So, take the shot, did untap as well. I forgot about it for a moment. Did I just say I did forgot about it, or did I say forget about it? I don't know. Did I do proper English? So, RC's not going to be the send, that's for sure. You never want to send in RC in alt mode if you can help it. Okay, so Braun is the send here, scrapping to take the shot into Grease Stain. Okay. Okay, so that's 4 Pierce 3. Okay, 4 Pierce 3, and Grease Stain will take the Pierce 3, and a Pocket Processor is there. Dropping an improvise for a processor. That is something you always want to do if you have the option. Drawing for turn on Ozzy's side of the field. So Soundwave has to go in here. You probably... Actually... So you have to be wary of if Steven is potentially holding on to a new orders. He did pick up that lose the initiative. So if he's fearful of that, what he might try and do, set the lose the initiative, and send Soundwave into Brawn, try and delete him so... if New Orders does get dropped and Ozzy doesn't want to negate it, it goes on Crasher. But if he sets to lose the initiative and he isn't able to KO somebody, he could just negate the untap. Well, I mean, you just want to negate the untap anyways, because Ravage would then get another attack. Yeah, I'm... It's really just a matter of, does he think Steven has an untap or a New Orders in hand? Because that is what's going to prompt him probably to set that lose the initiative. Flipping Ravage, giving Soundwave the Pierce 2. He is now forced out of the station because he's no longer in bot mode. Oh, but now Soundwave can take the station. I forgot because Grease Stain's cap for stars is 11 and Soundwave is a 10 star. I always forget that you can do that in this deck. And Soundwave getting a Grav inhibitor. This is something that has popped up a little bit more frequently in the wake of Fusion Board's ban and replacement with Mechastar. Grav inhibitor and Piercing Blaster have been legitimate considerations for a lot of decks. And then putting Soundwave into Grease Stain and a damage will get moved over to... Who is the defender? I did not catch who it is. Okay, so it goes on to Brawn. And then 5, Pierce 5. 5, Pierce 7. Oh, did not flip any oranges. So just 5, Pierce 5 here. So taking the Pierce 5. Oh, it's a live on 1 again. Are you kidding me? John, say the line. Oh, if he had gotten another orange, that would be lethal. But now, dropping an improvise for a lose the initiative, just getting the improvise out of the hand makes sense. But now, if he does have a New Orders in hand, and Ozzy did not choose to set the lose the initiative, I can speak. If Steven has a New Orders in hand, he gets a free attack with Brawn. So Processor comes down on a Night Racer. That's a pretty typical move. And Spy Masters with a Secret. Spy Masters with a Secret. Not sure what that... Oh, wait, it's probably the lose the initiative. Albeit I'm not sure what exactly it's untapped, or if Ozzy's playing any untaps. Flipping Night Racer, so that indicates she's going in probably, because you don't... I don't think you'd send Ayuk in alt mode in this deck. And it looks like... Oh, we are sending Ayuk, it looks like. That's interesting. Ayuk going into Grease Stain. That is for 6. Pierce 1. 6 Pierce 1. Block 2, take 4. Up to 8. And then dropping the lose the initiative for the Hand of Adaptus. Yeah, because on the... Oh, wait a minute. Soundwave is... Ozzy's behind a turn, I just realized, because he has to flip Soundwave this turn. Oh, wait a minute. Wheel turn, wheel turn. We have a wheel turn. I've honestly forgot we have a wheel turn. Anyways, RC next, it looks like. Oh, Night Racer instead. Nice. Night Racer into Grease Stain. That makes sense. Four, five, six, seven, eight. Pierce nothing. Block 2 takes 6, and that is a dead Grease Stain. You're free to go into Soundwave here now. But you can't go into Ravage because of, what's it called? Stealth. I forgot how that works. So, let's see if we can get a bit of chip damage here. 1, 2, and bold 1. 5. 5 blocking 3 takes 2. Okay, that's a good start. This was kind of the board last time, but I think Braun was off of it at this point. Things are looking decent for Steven, but he still has to chew through Soundwave, or not Soundwave. Well, he does have to chew through Soundwave, but he also has to chew through Steeljaw, who's not on the field yet. So we'll go to the untap and over to Ozzy's turn. We're probably going to see Ravage go in first, flip Sound. Oh, wait a minute. He can't flip both characters to their other mode. Is this deck playing Escape Route? I do not know. If he has an Escape Route, that simplifies the board incredibly, but if he doesn't, he's going to have to make some decisions. Because it means he's either sending Ravage in alt mode or Soundwave in alt mode. I don't know which one he's more comfortable with. Probably Ravage. Where's Demolition Derby when you need it? I mean, would that work here? I'm not sure if that would work here. I mean, oh, you're right, because it would cause an untap and... Oh, okay, I get what you're getting at with Demolition Derby. Got it, because you could play it on Ravage, play it on Ravage, attack with Ravage, untap Ravage if you can KO Braun or Crasher here, and then you have your full suite of turns to flip with Soundwave. Immersed in Shadow, and Soundwave did get to flip to alt mode, speaking of, and it looks like Ravage is going to be going in here. He has the bold 1 at the very least, so that's 1 Pierce 1, 2 Pierce 1, 3 Pierce 1. And I don't know, I think that was into Braun. That's a dead Braun. Okay, both players have 1 character KO'd apiece. And looks like not picking up the Hand of Adaptus on Steven's side of the field. Draw for Processor. Would not be surprised if we saw Crasher flip to bot mode in order to soak up a Soundwave hit. Although Aya could probably do the same thing. Just because the Grav inhibitor does limit Soundwave's damage potential a slight bit. Although Steeljaw does help recuperate that a little bit. So flipping Ayuk. Yeah, it's really just a matter of either sending in Crasher or sending in Ayuk here. Erratic Lightning. Okay, we're probably sending in Ayuk. Going into Ravage. Currently, the attack is for 7, 8, 9, 10. Got the KO! Unless Ozzy flips the backup beam. Did I really miss Braun die? Yeah, it was a 3 Pierce 1 swing. He was dead, basically, just by getting looked at. Ravage is off the field. Off of Ayuk's ability. Oh, that is... It's so good. It's just so good. Like, Flame War and Night Racer are both decent support pieces. Flame War more utilitarian... Or in a more... Not utilitarian, just in a more generic way. Night Racer is good if you're playing a lot of secrets. Ayuk is just a great beat stick in a blue deck, or any deck that's just playing a lot of blues. We're getting the cuts here, so Ravage is off the field. We will, see Steeljaw deploy, Soundwave flip to bot mode, Bashing Shield, and Energon Axe. Axe going back on top of the deck. That makes sense. So at this point, you have to go into Ayuk. He's got a Grav inhibitor on Soundwave, but is that the right weapon for this situation? Hand of Adaptus to draw 2. Maybe he can fish out a Disruptor Blade or something. And it doesn't look like he's able to. He usually sets that... Oh, nope. Wait, he's going back into the hand. Power Punch onto Steeljaw? Power Punch onto Steeljaw. And then Soundwave into Ayuk. So, bold 1 from Steeljaw. That is White Icon. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 Pierce 6. Blocking 1. 8 into 1 takes 7. Okay, so Ayuk is still kicking. Not as scary as Ransack at this point, but still decent. I think I sense an RC flip in the imminent future. Maybe? I mean, probably. I mean, I don't know what you'd flip Ayuk for at this point, because Processor's already on. And I'm not sure what other green and black upgrades that Steven has in the scrap. New orders to untap Ayuk. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. New orders coming in clutch. But here's an interesting thing. Does Steven potentially send in Night Racer here or RC in order to try to better leverage the wheel turn to nuke Soundwave? I honestly think that might be what he tries to go for here, because I mean, you flip RC to... Yeah, honestly, yeah, you probably save Ayuk for the wheel turn and just send in RC or Night Racer. Admittedly, on the next turn, Steven's probably going to have to go into Soundwave because Ozzy's likely to flip Steeljaw to alt mode, so damage goes on to Soundwave instead because of stealth. Crasher flips to bot mode. Erratic Lightning again! Oh my god, this is glued to his hand! And then Crasher going in. He has Bold 1 from Night Racer. And that's 10! 10 Pierce 1. And Soundwave's going to be defending for 2 takes 8. Up to 10. Oh, this is interesting. This is very interesting. Two, 3, 1 is the cut. This is just about how we do cuts on the server, by the way, if you're not familiar with this process. We'll just split the deck into a certain number of piles, number each of the piles, and have our opponent declare what order they go back in from top to bottom. So, blocking 2, attack is 10, takes 8. Alrighty, things not looking too hot for Ozzy right now, but again, if there's one thing Soundwave can do, it is just flip a game on its head, just a second, so things could still happen. All just depends on what Ozzy is holding. That Power Punch is at least nice, but it's a bit wasted on Crasher, unfortunately. Admittedly, if Crasher had 1 more damage, then Cayman would be a viable option here, but that RC flip earlier in the game does kind of mess this up a little bit. Ooh, RC coming in clutch, I'm now realizing. He's got a Bashing Shield in hand, it looks like. I'm not sure what else. His hand was bleeding there a little bit. Possible secret action? So Steven's got 1 card in hand. Ozzy is paying attention to that. Bashing Shield onto Soundwave. No value, but gets the +1 defense. And then sending Steeljaw in, not flipping him to alt mode. Wait, is he? Does it really matter if he flips to alt mode, actually, now that I think about it? Nope, just sending Steeljaw straight up into Crasher. There's the Cayman. And there's the Pierce needed. Crasher is gone. Eight Pierce 5, that is definitely a dead Crasher. Down to 3 characters on Steven's side of the field. Draw for turn. Draw for processor. And he... Oh, I just realized Steven does have free reign here. Steeljaw doesn't have stealth. Stealth while untapped is what Soundwave has. This may not be looking too good for, not looking good for Ozzy right now. Grenade launcher on RC. That is a dead Soundwave guaranteed. 5 Pierce 5, 7 Pierce 7, 8 Pierce 8. That is a dead Soundwave. Now, can Night Racer and Ayuk finish the job? There's an erratic lightning on the field. That is very likely. Ayuk going in. Currently 7. Here comes the knuckle sandwich. Yeah, absolutely. Wait, oh my god! 12 into 1. And down goes Steeljaw. And Steven Moss has won Encounter 1, 2-0, using 5-wide Goodstuff, or the Subway team as John has called him, over Ozzy and Soundwave. Still both very incredible decks. And this is exactly what we want to see. Proven decks like Soundwave versus up-and-coming new strategies like this 5-wide Goodstuff deck. What an incredible finals to this. Game 2 was a slight bit quicker than Game 1, but still overall fantastic games. Well done to the both of you. I know both of you are probably going to be watching this replay after the fact. But you guys, what incredible runs you both went on. And Steven especially, showing up to your first encounter and managing to win the whole thing. That is very, very impressive. Nobody can understate that in any capacity, especially me. But again, Steven wins 2-0 over Ozzy. 5-wide Goodstuff, or Team Subway, whatever you want to call it, wins over Soundwave. And with that, Encounter 1 has drawn to a close. That will do it for this broadcast. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw here today. If you did and you're on Twitch, there's a little purple button you can push down below to show that. If you're watching the YouTube re-upload of this, there's a little red button you can push down below to show that. And be sure, if you're watching the YouTube re-upload of this, or even if you're watching on Twitch, be sure to check out the main channel because there is still going to be plenty more Transformers content. Plus, we are going to be breaking down kind of what this event means for the greater scheme of, in the greater scheme of the metagame, going into, not Encounter 2, but Encounter 3. Next Encounter 2, is going to be even waves only, so it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. So, yeah, now it's really taking this information and trying to figure out what to do with it for Encounter 3, and I will discuss that in my video that I'll be working on here shortly. But if you want to find out more about what potentially Encounter 2 could bring, Legendary Void is actually doing a video on that here soon. We were talking about that the other night, so be sure to go sub to his channel over on YouTube to find out basically kind of what's going to happen potentially for Encounter 2 and to see his predictions on that. But for now, that will conclude this encounter. Again, Steven Moss using Team Subway wins 2-0 over Ozzy using Soundwave. That will do it for this broadcast. Peace out, y'all.